Good morning, morning musings. How are you this morning? So today we're going to talk about bullying, but I want to start out by saying this is not about politics. This is about understanding the energy behind bullying and what causes it and what causes us to follow a bully or to become a bully or to understand bullying. So, please do not put political statements on this post because it's really not about politics. However, I will bring politics into it a little bit because I did want to talk about some forms of bullying, which would be like, for example, if someone on my private message, because I'm a public figure, put political ads or political campaigns or something that has to do with politics, assuming that I might believe the same way that they believe, then that is a form of bullying. And I've actually had to put some boundaries out with people and say, would you please not put these kind of videos on my private messages? Can you imagine if everyone did that, how difficult that would be for me to have that kind of energy bombarded at me all at once? So one of the things we need to talk about regarding bullying is the fact that there is a lack of boundaries. My son and I, McKinnon, actually wrote a little children's book, an anti-bullying children's book, If You Could See Inside of Me. And McKinnon, in deliberate intent, made all of these figures into skeletons because, we're all the same on the inside. People bully in all kinds of ways. Why do people bully? Well, for one thing, they're insecure. For another thing, they need a lot of attention or they need to have a lot of power. Why do people follow a bully? Well, usually because they feel like they're identifying with that kind of power or that control, and somehow they've got fear of, who they are for. So they follow that energy in order to reflect that they too have some power. We see that in religious circles. We see that with people like David Koresh or Jim Jones, that a whole lot of people who were intelligent, at least at an IQ level, maybe not at an emotional IQ level, or an EQ level, but would follow somebody like that in the name of God and actually decide to sit in a dangerous situation or to take their lives as they're following that bully that uses God as a way to bully people into a belief system. I mean, we've seen that throughout history all the time. So today I thought maybe we would dummy it down just a little bit to see what are the 6 signs, according to psychologist Chantal Gauthier, of what bullying is so that you can look at yourself. Do you see yourself in a bully? And if so, how do you change that energy so that you understand that if you do some of these things, it's because there's something in you that feels insecure or unnoticed or unappreciated, or that you were raised in an environment where you felt like you were invisible or not loved, or you were raised in an environment where somebody taught you to bully and was angry and out there in their own field of energy and their own dynamics, and you identified with that. So what are the ways that people recognize themselves if they're a bully? Well, number one is that you repeatedly upset someone around you. You may notice this if someone gets angry at you a lot, complains about your behavior, or is tearful often. These reactions are indeed a red flag and should be taken seriously. Bullies kind of bowl other people over and do not allow for that other person to feel like they're validated while they're so busy validating themselves and, throwing their weight around and, verbalizing things with that power and control. Other people around feel intimidated, always like they're walking on eggshells. Number 2, you have of empathy. This is not always to recognize in oneself. And oftentimes, again, someone who is a bully at their very core may be intelligent, but they don't have any emotional intelligence, so they don't observe how people around them are responding or reacting to them. And so they lack the empathy of how their behavior is affecting. Okay, so empathy is so important. You may not agree with someone, but you can empathize with their viewpoint, okay? Number 3, you get aggressive. This may include openly shouting, threatening, or humiliating someone in front of others. But it can also be passive-aggressive comments, okay? And passive-aggressive people can be bullies. That's where they are saying things that are hurtful. They're like these little undercurrents of energy that kind of, eat away at someone, that kind of passive-aggressive energy. Number 4, you thrive around insecure people. If you make yourself feel better by evoking discomfort or insecurity in a colleague, for example, at work, that would be a classic sign of bullying. This could be done, for example, by persistently picking on someone or deliberately setting them up to fail. When you make fun of someone, you're a bully. When you say things that are untrue about somebody, you are bullying in certain ways. Number 5, you spread malicious rumors about someone. It may not seem like a big deal, but spreading rumors could make someone's life a living hell. We see this in high school all the time, but obviously a lot of us don't grow up past high school. We're seeing that as we have Facebook as a tool and social media as a tool right now. Things that we never had before. We can see that some people haven't grown up past high school. They're still name calling. They're still, shaming other people. They're still trying to embarrass others. They're still trying to do something that we would do if we don't have a emotionally developed energy. And number 6, you misuse your power or position about performance issues. For example, you may intentionally block someone's promotion or take away duties and responsibilities without any rationale or substance. Other possibilities include deliberately and persistently ignoring or excluding someone from joint collaborations and social events. So, these kinds of bullying energies can create an array of mental health issues, including depression. Isn't that funny? Okay, so as I end up about bullying, I'm walking out to the light of day here. I have something going on in my building that makes me feel like Spirit really wants us to pay attention to this and to look at whether we're a bully or not a bully and what that means. Have a great day.